Oh, Sony, what the hell are you doing? Get your head out of your asses. Please. As many of you all know, I'm actually a pretty big Sony and PlayStation fan. I'm wearing a pretty nice PlayStation shirt from Insert Coin Clothing. I wish that was an advertisement. I wish I was fortunate enough that someone would want to pay me based on my appearance. It is not. It's just something I bought and that was really cool. If I can find a link, it'll be in the description. But again, it's not sponsored, so I'm not obligated to. But I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt. I have a couple. I have a giant original PlayStation neon sign that I paid quite the pretty penny for my game room. Most of my games are PlayStation console of some sort out of my entire collection. Pretty big fan. But Sony has done some stuff this generation that has frankly just finally reached the point of just pissing me off. And I'm not really sure how to handle that. If you missed recent news, and I don't make news videos, I make, opinion pieces if I'm talking about news, because I'm never in a position to break news. People have been arguing a lot, or throwing a huge fuss lately because they've been playing Fortnite on their PlayStation 4, and now that Fortnite was released on Switch, they went to download it on Switch and log in on Switch, and they can't log into their Epic Games account on Nintendo Switch because it's tied to their PlayStation account. Sony has done something has made a move this generation to do everything they can to block cross-platform play, which is kind of hilarious because they were the ones last generation at least pretending to push for it, saying, hey, let's make this happen, and Microsoft was saying no. Microsoft has been all sorts of let's play ball this generation. They really want to make it happen. They want to push things forward. They got it working with Rocket League. They got it working with Fortnite very quickly, and so Fortnite now has cross-platform play between PC, Xbox, mobile, and Switch, but not PlayStation. And it's as far as you cannot even have the same shared Epic account, which is the benefit of having this whole Fortnite cross-platform thing, is you're building progression towards a singular account. You can't even use that same Epic account on multiple platforms if it's signed into PlayStation, and people are pissed. So many people have tried signing in on their Switch and now their Xbox and their PC and things, and they can't play the other systems because they were playing on Switch, or they were playing on PlayStation. It's ridiculous. And this is pure market exploitation. This is Sony having a lead for the first time. They didn't have it last generation. I guess not the first time, but, they did not have much of a lead last generation. I've made claims that they lost the quote-unquote console war, which was mainly to make people mad because I think the idea of a console war is just absurd and people should not get so heavily invested in it. So if I can ruffle the jimmies, then I'm going to. Rustle the jimmies, whatever. I'm going to. But also because for most of the generation, PS3 was way behind. And then, the Xbox was, at least here in the United States, the Xbox was the home game console for most of that generation. Keeping in mind the Wii was technically a generation behind, and, the PS3 caught up towards the end, but they were not in the lead for that generation. So this generation, they have been dominating, they have been destroying, and they are exploiting that. They are saying, we have the biggest player base, we have the best games, we want you to stick here, so we're not going to let you crossplay. Not with Rocket League, not with Fortnite. There was some other game that wanted to do cross-platform play, and Sony is saying no and doing it to an extent that is very anti-consumer. You cannot allow cross-platform play and it'd be fine. You can just say, if you're playing on PlayStation, you cannot play with Xbox players. They can put up that wall, and I wouldn't complain so much, and I haven't until this point. Like with Rocket League, you could do PS4 PC or Xbox PC, but not Xbox PS4. Whatever, fine. But they're making it to the extent that if you've ever logged in and played Fortnite with your Epic Games account on PS4, you cannot do it on Switch or Xbox. You can still do it on PC as far as I can tell. That's still a shared account, but you can't even use the same account. Even set up a different profile. They didn't establish any of that. Part of that may be on Epic Games, but that is just ridiculous. That is absurd. They are being so freaking rigid about that. And I'm getting, they're starting to show a little bit of arrogance between this and their statements about backwards compatibility. That was my biggest favorite part about the PS3 was, at least their initial goals for it was PS1, PS2, PS3, PSP. They wanted all of this backwards compatibility and interchangeability with the PS3. And with PS4, they're just nah, not enough people play backwards compatible games to make it worth it. Meanwhile, Xbox is just let's do backwards compatibility, but even better. And I'm just hell yeah, great team. And Sony just seems to be showing a lot of arrogance lately that I'm really not happy with. And I really want them to get their heads out of their asses. They've done some really good stuff this generation. They clearly had the superior platform in terms of game integrations. They took a lot of things that Xbox was doing exclusively, like the early Call of Duty stuff, and they took Activision and said, "No, you come over here." And so they've been dominating, but this is going a little too far. Like I'm not okay with this. Now, personally, I don't give a crap about Fortnite. I am so tired of hearing about it. I don't like the game at all. I think I've played a couple matches to get footage to overlay onto this video just so it's actually Fortnite, but I can't stand the building mechanic. I appreciate that they offered something different that was core to their game, unlike a Realm Royale, which just feels bizarre at the moment. I keep calling it a Realm Royale. It's just Realm Royale. But I appreciate that they offered something unique, that it's free to play, that they've made it cross-platform, they've made clearly a hugely accessible game. But I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of the effect that it's having on the games industry, on YouTubers. I'm just done with it. But on principle, what Sony is doing here is not okay. What do you think, though? Let's discuss in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more awesome gaming content. Usually not about Fortnite. Like, I will probably just uninstall Fortnite after finishing the footage for this video. But, yeah. And I'll see you in the next one.